foundation and the forefront of the governance process of this country. In short, the President understands that the success of the central government, I'll repeat that, he understands that the success of a central government is by and large anchored on the behavior of the local government. The central government, thank you, the central government will lay down its policies, it will lay down its aspirations. The heart and soul of the success of the central government should be complemented by forthrightness of the central government. Like I said earlier on, time will come for us to do politics. We will do it, because we are all good at it. We are all good at politics. But this is not the time. The purpose for which we are settled here is basically changing the trajectory, to change the direction, that everything that goes up must come down. The season for politics was up at one time. We were all dressed in uniforms, either for one party or another. Today, as I see you, you are all looking beautiful in your private clothes, all singing from the same sheet, one Zambia and one nation. The time for us to go into those curves and the enclaves of politics will come in 2026. So I encourage you to heed to the President's call. In short, I want to confirm here, without any fear of any contradiction or any intimidation from anyone, the President is seeking your support. Regardless of which political party you come from, the President is asking for your support. And join the bandwagon to deliver for your people. For nothing in life is permanent. I said it already, human beings come and human beings go, but institutions remain. It is for this reason, distinguished members of the local authorities, that the government working and building your capacities to address the myriad of challenges that you are going to encounter in your noble duties, you must adhere to all these documents that are being presented, including the Constitution, including the Act. The responsibility to hold and recognize the important role that you play in addressing the socio-economic challenges in our community will largely depend on your ability to implement the policies and add the values to the lives of the people whose interests and aspirations are placed under our charge. Ladies and gentlemen, this orientation program aims at equipping you with knowledge, skills, as well as bringing the required mind transformation that will enable you to work with confidence to achieve the goals and objectives, providing high quality, uncompromised, high quality services to the local authorities. Whether you are a returning councillor, as the case may be, or you are a brand new councillor, as also the case may be, or even an appointed official, you are all expected to take keen interest and make the best use of this orientation workshop. Of course, it's also going to serve for you to familiarize yourselves, to be socially connected to yourselves, to know each other away from the official stuff that we do. And I'm sure that maybe after work, you may go behind the bar and share a bottle of Castle or a Fanta and chat about who you truly are. You'll then find out that there are more things that bring us together than those that put us apart, because we are all one people. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at the volume of the manual that you are being given, I already said that, and my encouragement is that you take time to read the contents of the manuals in order to sharpen your skills and further your ability to serve the communities that elected you. After this training workshop, I have very, very high expectations in that all of you will serve your communities very diligently. I further wish to urge all local authorities to factor in some aspects of reorientation in the operational plans at suitable intervals to ensure that our civic leaders keep the pace with the challenging and changing times to enable them to respond to the requirements and needs of the communities that we serve. As a way of determining the impact of this orientation program, my ministry will keep track of the performance of all the local authorities through the regular monitoring and evaluation, M&E in short, activities. My ministry will develop an M&E framework and monitoring tools that will be used to regularly monitor the functions of all local authorities as the case may be. This will also enable us to develop a suitable tailor-made capacity building program to address the emerging or identified needs. Ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the end of this particular delivery, I want you to know, and this is more to the experts in the local authorities. One area where we think the local authorities have lost opportunities to get some revenue is in the rigidity of the valuation rule. And I'm saying this very carefully, and for you to mark my words, that the rigidity of the valuation rule has been a recipe for various local authorities to lose out on revenues. Because if the valuation rule results in terms of the value of any property, you will have more defaults, you will have less client base, the clientele, you will have less compliance. I think that is a fact of life. And so in your discharge of your duties, there is what is called remission. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. There is what's called remission. If, for instance, this is the copper belt, and I have SCORE. There was a company called SCORE. I don't know if it's still there. SCORE. You value the property of SCORE and it's 100,000 kwacha. And then SCORE says, this is my balance sheet. Although your valuer said this is how much, it's a bit too high because I'll be getting into my statutory payments, I'll be getting into my salaries payment, and while I recognize the need to pay the council, I need a remission of a certain amount in percentage terms. It is only fair that you recognize the fact that just like collecting revenue or taxes, the lower the tax, the more the compliance levels. Am I right or wrong? Am I speaking to someone? The lower the tax, the higher the compliance probability. The higher it is, even we were talking together with the mayor of Kitwe at breakfast, and because I got a call from Lusaka, and a stranger lady from Intercity bus stop who came and said, Honorable Minister, we got a council worker yesterday who came and said, from today onwards, the Mutelo on money booth, call them, what do you call them? Money booth, Airtel money, mobile money is going to be 300 kwacha a month. So I quickly picked the phone to talk to the mayor of Lusaka. I said, yesterday we were together, and the figure I got was 100 kwacha a month. So I quickly asked the mayor of Kitwe, I said, how is it going here? In the same conversation, and he told me, no, here in Kitwe, because we want to decongest the CBD, to bring sanity, to sanitize the area, we put the charges in bands, which is an excellent idea. That those who want to trade in the high street, in Lusaka it's called Cairo Road, they'll pay a premium. So as they go into Lumumba Road or Chacha Road or Freedom Way, the tariffs become less and less because we also want to achieve a multifaceted approach to sanitizing our cities. And so I asked the same lady, so 300, have you been paying? She says, when it was 100, we would pay in advance. We pay, because it's 5 kwacha per day, times 20 days, 100 kwacha, we pay per week. So I called Mayor Chilando, is it true that you've hiked the figures by 300%? She says, no, I'm not aware about this. So what am I saying? I'm saying we're coming from an era, and please excuse me, I don't mean to cause any harm to anyone. We were coming out of an era where there was disorder. Let's just agree on that. There was a lot of disorder created by monsters calling themselves cadres, who were in charge of licensing, taking away what belonged to you as a council, and Mr. Hitchem has brought that back to you to put the council back on its feet. They were charging in Lusaka for anyone to have a booth like this, first finder's fee at 5,000 kwacha. The poor person must pay. Then every Friday, there were revenue collectors away from the council, collecting money, taking it to somewhere. That time we shut it. We shut it in order for us to give councils capacity to get revenue, so that you can deal with the very things that we grapple around: service delivery, cleaning cities, garbage collection. We have tried our best this far, and it's only 2 months. So I'm saying, you haven't seen nothing yet. As we go on and on, you will begin to appreciate those things that we have, the bad vices that we have excluded from among ourselves. Unfortunately, and as I delivered this morning, unfortunately, there's enough evidence and proof that all this disorder was actually sponsored by us politicians. And I'll say it again, sponsored by us politicians. And it was coated with violence. Whoever did not comply had to get a slap or two, or maybe be hit with a sledgehammer. That will never happen ever again in this country.